that will give you what you really desire. So in summary, meditation is of many different kinds. What we call formal meditation is sitting or walking. It's good to put aside a certain time every day, and the morning time is very good. If you meditate only in the evening, often you're quite sleepy or tired after a long day's work, and then you don't make much progress and you can become discouraged. If you meditate early in the morning when you first get up, then you have had some rest, you've had some sleep, you feel quite fresh, you don't have a lot of problems in your mind and things from yesterday. It's like a new day. And if you meditate in the morning, then you can feel the effect during the day. You can feel a little bit more calm and collected, and keep your temper more easily, more patient. You feel a lot of kindness and love coming up in your heart for the children, because you have put the effort into purifying your heart at the beginning of the day. So I would recommend this, and as far as the length of time for a meditation period, it's like any kind of exercise. You don't have to start off for very long, but then you could gradually increase. So if you start off with maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then over the course of some months you can increase to maybe 30 minutes. That's not difficult at all, and some people meditate for much longer than that, but of course it depends on your family situation and other factors. Now, the technique itself, just to repeat, don't force the breath, and just be aware of the natural breath flowing in and flowing out, but you need to sustain your attention for the whole of the in-breath and the whole of the out-breath, and not let it fall away even for a moment. Now, one way to help you do that in the beginning is to count the breaths. And there are many ways of counting the breaths, but a good way when you first begin is on an in-breath, you count 1, then out-breath 1, in-breath 2, out-breath 2, in 3, out 3, in 4, out 4, in 5, out 5. And then when you get to 5, you start again. And you count 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. And then you start again, and you count 1, 1, 2, 2 to 7, 7. And then you start again, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, until 8, 8. And then 1 to 9, and then 1 to 10. So this, you make this your goal, to try to be mindful and not forget what you're doing, counting 1 to 5, 1 to 6, 1 to 7, 1 to 8, 1 to 9, 1 to 10. So that's a good way to start, because if you forget, if you become drowsy, you realize very quickly, you can't remember, am I counting to 5, am I counting to 6? You can't lie to yourself. Sometimes maybe you're with the breath and then you drift off and you come back and you just tell yourself you're with the breath all the time, but it's really not the case. So this is one way of beginning and getting some confidence to try to be mindful of one cycle, 1 to 5, 1 to 6, 1 to 7, 1 to 8, 1 to 9, 1 to 10. Then if you can get one cycle without losing your mindfulness, then you can try for a second cycle. If you can count your breaths maybe for 3 cycles and no forgetting your breath at all, then you don't need to count. You can just be with the sensation of the breath, what the breath feels like at the tip of your nose, or maybe inside your nose, wherever you feel most clearly. right at the beginning of the meditation, before you start to meditate on the breath, just tear your attention through your body, from your head down to your feet, just relaxing. If you have some tension in your body, and we all have tension in different parts, some people in their face, a lot of people in the shoulder, some people in the tummy. So just imagine just a tension, just touching the different parts of your body from your head. And if you feel some tension, then just tense it like this and then let go. So you just feel very relaxed in your body before you start to meditate on your breath. Okay? So that's quite a long expression. Any questions about that? Is that clear? When I first left home, when I was 17, and I went traveling around, I went to India. I lived in India for a year, and I sent letters home regularly. But really, I wasn't really able to see through my mother's eyes, or to really understand how she felt so well. Although, as I said in that book, when I first started to meditate, I realized how well my parents had brought me up, because I saw, like I said just now, when meditating, you see all these things inside you never saw before, both the good things and the bad things. And I saw some good things inside myself, and I asked myself, where do those things come from? And I realized so many came from my parents. So this is a case where the meditation, the direct looking and seeing, leads to this positive emotion and sense of gratitude. Not just reading in a book, you should be grateful to your parents, but seeing this, all this. Yes, you see, my father was quite strict. He didn't ever beat me or something, but if he said no, it meant no. You couldn't ever change his mind. And so when I was a teenager, I was very frustrated with this. I didn't like this at all. But when I started to meditate, I noticed, yes, I have quite a lot of self-discipline. If I tell myself no, then I can stop. And so why I see many other young people, they can't. They say, oh, I know it's not good, but I can't help it. And I say, I can. If I tell myself no, I can. And I think, where does that come from? And I thought, yes, because my father, when he said no, no was no. And I thought, if my family was one where, my father said no, I said, oh, please, please, no, okay, and then I probably wouldn't have such a strong mind. So I saw this kind of thing. In fact, it was only much later when when my mother told me that the day I went to Thailand or India was the worst day in her life. That was maybe 15, 20 years later, because at the time she didn't want me to know that. And when you're a young man, and I was so inspired and so determined to become a monk that, this is something that I felt was not just for me anyway. To become a good monk, then I would be able to share wisdom and understanding with many others. So I didn't feel guilty that I was abandoning my parents in that way, but it was more that I was following a very noble path, and that I believe that the merits that would arise from this I could share with my parents also. And as I got more senior, then I was able to go and visit my family often, and to arrange for my mother and father to come to Thailand. And Now my mother comes every year for 3 weeks or a month, and I look after her here, and she has a very nice holiday. So I can do some small thing to repay my gratitude.